Hello, Aries, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at you and the person that you are connected to and needing to learn the most from right now. We're looking at all three sides of it. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and kind of this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. I do encourage you to think outside of the box when it comes to these readings. This might not just be talking about a romantic connection. This could be a friend, a family member, a coworker, a boss, anyone that you are connected to that you feel like there is a lesson to be learned. If you're feeling triggered or there's conflict, anything along those lines. These energies can absolutely be swapped. So if you end up resonating more to the energy to my right than to my left, or vice versa, if you're a cross watcher, then that is totally fine and totally normal. Please remember to take what resonates and leave what does not, since this is a general reading. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. All right, Aries, on your side of this connection, we're going to be pulling tarot for each side of this connection, but we're going to go over the overall oracles that I've already pulled ahead of time, just because I like to pull cards and then kind of meditate on them. So you have shift your energy with love matters. This is interesting because it feels like you're having, for whatever reason, you've kind of closed yourself off to love. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily this person or like to love in general, but I feel like you're kind of in protection mode. You've kind of backed off and you're a little bit in protection mode here. And I feel like that's been the most challenging aspect for you, because I don't necessarily feel like it's like I feel like you do want love. You do want to open yourself up to love, but it just kind of feels like there's a lot of uncertainty that surrounds it for you. Now, we'll hopefully kind of get to where that stems from, but this person has the big picture with you are worth it. Now, this is interesting because I feel like this person, whether or not it kind of manifests in the same kind of actions as you, they also struggle with feeling worthy. They struggle with feeling worth it. They struggle with feeling like they are deserving of you. Now, they probably don't say that, and it probably doesn't come out like in their actions in that way. But at the core of it, because what I'm trying to do with these readings is kind of get below the surface level, dive into that subconscious. And what I'm seeing here is that it's, they are, they don't feel worthy. They don't feel worthy of you. They don't feel worthy of love. Now, I don't necessarily know if you don't feel worthy of love or if you're kind of afraid to open your heart up to it again. But definitely kind of dealing with the same, like you're both kind of in like defense mode, like feeling like this need to protect yourself. Now, in between this connection, you have make a decision with amplify your positive emotions. I feel like someone in this connection is needing to make a decision. Someone. I don't know who it is yet. And honestly, depending on, because this is a general reading, I don't really know if I'll be able to tell you that. It'll just kind of depend on how the energy comes through. But whatever happens in this connection is going to be for the best. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. Like whatever happens or does happen or has happened will be for the best, even if you can't see that yet. So let's see if we can dive into kind of what it is that you are dealing with here. All right, this is Aries side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. You have shift your energy with love matters. This is Aries side of this connection to the person they're dealing with. One more. This is Aries side of the connection. This is Aries side of this connection, please. See, you're frustrated. You are definitely stuck in disappointment when it comes to this connection in some way, shape, or form. Now, you guys are working through a lot of blockages. This connection has potential. It does. You have the sun here. But you want to make sure that like you don't want to rely on a connection to bring you happiness, right? Now, I'm not necessarily saying that's what you're doing, but I do feel like there's this frustration, like things haven't happened in the way and in the amount of time that you would have wished in this connection. I feel like it's brought on a lot of disappointment. Or their actions are just disappointing to you. Like I feel like there's this, you've been stuck in this, like this 5 of Cups energy, this like sadness surrounding this connection. Like you certainly aren't happy with it. But let's get more. This is Aries side of the connection. Says Aries side of this connection, please. There's the High Priestess in reverse. Not listening to your intuition about something. Then you have the Three of Swords. You definitely, there is a lot of pain coming from your side of this connection. But what are you not listening to your intuition about? What is Aries not listening to their intuition about? What is Aries not listening to their intuition about? The reason things aren't moving forward. Page of Pentacles in reverse with a Chariot in reverse. You're not listening. There's a reason here that's missing because you're stuck in this Three of Swords. You're obviously sad and hurt about how things are right now. But there's a reason for why it's happening. Because like I said, whatever is happening is for the best. It's to make you happy in the end. But I don't necessarily know, bear with me, because I don't necessarily know what that means yet. Let's get more for Aries side of the connection. It's like, you don't understand, like, there's the Strength in reverse. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse and the Ten of Cups. This connection, it takes away your sense of confidence. I feel like it tests your boundaries a lot. And that's kind of why I feel like you've closed yourself off. But it almost feels like even though that's the case, you still look at it as your Ten of Cups. You still feel like it has potential. And I'm not saying it doesn't, but I also feel like it just feels like your energy, you're experiencing more hurt than happiness around this. There's definitely more hurt than happiness going on here. Yeah, because there's the Sun in reverse. This is where you're currently at. You are currently unhappy with it. I don't know but what's this potential? It's like you see the potential of like who this person could be or what you guys could be together, but this person just isn't able to be that or hasn't yet shown you that they're capable of it. Aries side of this connection. There's the Death. I don't think this connection is currently together. Let me clarify this Death card. I don't think this connection is... It feels like on your side of things, it feels like it's ended. But like almost like you're having trouble accepting that. Like fully accepting that. That's right. Because, and I feel like that's because, again, you see the potential here. I don't know who ended it. It could have very well been you. It definitely could have been you. Or if it's not ended, then it's one that it's like you've already kind of made the decision to end it. Or you feel like it's ending, even if it's not fully over yet. This is Aries side of the connection. Aries side of this connection. Because this is not happy, loving energy, right? Aries side of this connection. But it feels like I don't really know what's going on here. Let me see what Aries said. Because there's the Lovers. So you view this person as like a soulmate kind of energy. Yet at the end of the day, they don't really reciprocate your energy. It's like you give more to this than you receive. And there's this level of, like not standing up for yourself. So even though you view them as like a partner, right? With this Lovers here, you view them as like this soulmate energy, but yet you're the one who's carrying most of the weight of this connection. And this, I feel like this stems from you see this potential that exists between you two. I'm not saying this person's a bad person. If they don't feel like they're deserving of love, then they probably have a hard time like really showing it, especially in the way that you ultimately deserve. I don't feel like you feel very loved in this connection. I feel like you have at certain points, but like the majority of the time, it feels like you're spending with things just not feeling very good. Aries side of this connection. Aries side of this connection, please. King of Wands in reverse. See, you're doubting yourself. I feel like you're feeling, yeah, but there's the 10 of Wands. You're doubting yourself. You feel like you aren't good enough for this, but yet they feel like they aren't good enough for this. This is interesting. Because here's this 10 of Wands. This is you carrying the burden. You've been doing most of the work. I don't even really know what that means. Like, it's like you're making most of the effort, essentially, is what I'm kind of gathering here. Like, you're making most of the effort, and this person isn't really reciprocating or meeting you halfway. Like, it feels like you are having to do, it's like you're having to fight for this. And I feel like they just aren't putting in the same energy. They have the big picture and you are worth it. Let me see what this person's dealing with. Because I do feel like they're struggling to believe that they're worthy of you as well. Or just love in general. This person's energy toward Aries, please. This person's energy toward Aries. Devil. This person's showing up as the devil energy. I'm not saying they are the devil by any means, but it just feels like they don't know how to, I don't know. Because, okay, the devil and the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Let me get more on this. The devil and the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Clarifying this message. Because it feels like they feel like things kind of fell apart. And they blame themselves. They blame this. So this isn't necessarily them. This is like their shadow, right? In a way. The devil energy. And so they're putting a lot of blame on themselves here. Because they obviously hurt you. But I feel like it's almost like they feel, this is an interesting message that's coming through, that you are better off without them. This person's energy toward Aries. Because they identify with this devil energy here. Yeah, but look at this. Because you have the Knight of Cups with this 10 of Wands, and this 10 of Wands is in reverse, right? Over here on your side, you have it upright. So they kind of put their emotional burdens on you. Like, how do I clarify that? Because then there's the 10 of Wands, which created the conflict here. Can I get more on this, the Knight of Cups and the 10 of Wands in reverse? More on the Knight of Cups and the 10 of Wands in reverse. From their past. Okay, yeah. So they've had, it's almost like they came into this with baggage from like past relationships, and they projected a lot of that onto you. And I feel like it's like you didn't feel like it, maybe you didn't feel good enough, or you didn't feel like you were able to like be what they wanted or be what they needed. And it's not necessarily that's the case, because I don't feel like that's true. I just feel like this person hasn't dealt with past wounds. And so a lot of that came out into this connection. Even though they, because I feel like they have love for you. That I do feel. Now the way that they show it, I don't feel like they do show it. Because I honestly don't know if they are capable of that. Let me get more for this person's side of the connection to Aries. This person's energy toward Aries, please. Because, yeah, it's like this devil is like them. This person's energy toward Aries, please. There's the death. The same death, and then the separation. And then the Five of Wands. See, they blame themselves for this ending. I don't know if you know that, though. I don't know if they've been honest with you about that. It's like they don't know how to handle their emotions. And so they run, right? When things get hard, when things get challenging, they run. And I feel like that's kind of what happened here. And that's why you're kind of left being like feeling so broken up about it. It's because I feel like, I mean, this could have happened out of the blue. It also could have been a long time coming, but I feel like the actual ending, this actual death, it kind of happened quickly. This person's energy toward Aries. I feel like they aren't very self-aware. I don't think they're very self-aware. And I think that a lot of that is because, well, I don't know though, because they identify with this devil. But maybe they know, it's like they know they don't. They know, on some level, they know they didn't treat you well. But at the same time, it's almost like they're like, well, that's just who I am. Like, it just feels like they're like, they know they didn't treat you well, but they don't really, also, I don't think they know how to change, or that they know that they think they need to. Like, I think it's just like, they're hoping that someone one day will be able to put up with them regardless, which eventually they'll, realize that's not the case, right? Unconditional love does not equal unconditional tolerance. There's been this one tiny teeny fruit fly in our house. Although where there's one, there's many, and he just seems to show up in my readings. But yeah, it's like I feel like, because they're not doing a whole lot of self-reflection. It's like they identify as this devil. They know that they didn't treat you well, but they're like, like, I don't necessarily know if they have guilt, or if they just like, no, if they are just like, yeah, that was my fault. I don't know. They're a reflection of your shadow. The Queen of Wands, there you are in the moon. They're a reflection of your shadow. They reflect back at you aspects of your shadow. Interesting. Because there's a lot to learn here with the Hierophant. There's a lot to learn from this connection. Huh. So the person Aries is dealing with side of the connection to Aries. Okay. Here we go. The person that Aries is dealing with side of the connection to Aries, please. So they're a reflection of your shadow. Which probably means they trigger you a lot, if that's the case. The Temperance in reverse, the same Temperance in reverse as we had pulled. Because it feels like what this message is saying is the times where you feel triggered and frustrated by their energy, there's something that's needing to bring, that's trying to be brought to light, to be healed with the star here. So the ways that they trigger you is actually trying to heal you. Not that they're consciously triggering you, right? Just like their energy, and the reason this person was attracted into your life is this is actually, because remember, whatever has happened in this connection has been for the best, even if it doesn't feel like it yet. So we'll have to see what that means in the extended. So I'm going to hop on over to the extended. Thank you so much, Aries, as always, for the support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. Bye, Aries.